wasn't fire, wasn't lightning, wasn't loud. It didn't shake the mountain or draw a screaming crowd. It was softer than a whisper, gentler than the rain. It was quiet mornings, slow dancing, whispering your name. It was folding laundry side by side. It was reading in the dark. It was the easy kind of silence that needs no remorse. And maybe that's why losing it has cut me to the bone. The softest loves are hardest when you're standing all alone. It was a love too soft to lose, too tender for this world. A gentle flame that somehow in the fiercest storm was hurled. It didn't roar or battle, didn't fight or make a sound. It just folded up so quietly and left me on the ground. A love too soft to lose, but I lost it anyway. And the softest things are the hardest to ever let decay. I used to think that passion meant the screaming and the tears, that love had to be dramatic to last beyond the years. But you taught me different. You taught me slow and deep, that the strongest loves are often the ones we barely speak, the ones that hold us gently, the ones that let us be, the ones that ask for nothing but the chance to simply see. And now I understand it, but understanding doesn't heal. The softest touch still leaves a bruise that time cannot conceal. It was a love too soft to lose, too tender for this world. A gentle flame that somehow in the fiercest storm was hurled. It didn't roar or battle, didn't fight or make a sound. It just folded up so quietly and left me on the ground. A love too soft to lose, but I lost it anyway. And the softest things are the hardest to ever let decay. The world tells me to be strong, to harden up my heart, to build my walls back higher, to play a tougher part. But how do I unlearn the softness that you gave? How do I forget the gentle way you'd hold me and behave? How do I become a fortress when you showed me I was safe? How do I accept that softness has no place? No place, no place. It was a love too soft to lose, a love too kind to last, a feather in a hurricane, a memory fading fast. But I'll carry that softness with me in everything I do. 'Cause even though I lost you, your gentleness broke through. A love too soft to lose, I hold it carefully. The softest thing I'll ever know is what you gave to me. So soft, so soft. like your hand in mine, like your voice, like goodbye, a love too soft to lose. I stepped outside and I had to clear my heavy head. The world was sleeping soundly, tucked and quiet in their beds. But I looked up and there you were, spread out across the dark. A million points of light, each one a memory, each a spark of every moment we once had, every promise that we made, written in the constellations, never meant to fade. I used to search for you in crowds and faces in the noise. I forgot to look up higher, forgot to raise my voice to the heavens, to the silence, to the vast and endless blue, where you've been waiting all this time for me to see the truth. Now I live under a sky full of your love, infinite and wide. Every star a memory, every cloud a place to hide. The moon is just your flashlight, making sure I'm never lost. The sunset is your painting, reminding me of what it costs to love someone so deeply that they never really leave. A sky full of your love is all I'll ever need to believe. I remember you stare up at the stars and smile. Said someday when I'm gone I'll be up there a while, just watching over you, my love, just making sure you're okay. I laughed and called you crazy, didn't know that you would pay that promise with your leaving, didn't know you keep your word. That every time I look up now, your voice is what I've heard. And I'm not crazy, no, I know the science and the truth. I know they're balls of burning gas, I know the proof. But my heart sees something different. My heart sees you up there in every solar flare. Now I live under a sky full of your love, infinite and wide. Every star a memory, every cloud a place to hide. The moon is just your flashlight, making sure I'm never lost. The sunset is your painting, reminding me of what it costs to love someone so deeply that they never really leave. A sky full of your love is all I'll ever need to believe. And when the storms roll in and I can't see the stars above, when the clouds obscure the heavens and the sky forgets its love, I close my eyes and find you there. Behind my lids you shine brighter than any constellation, more permanent, more divine. Because you're not just in the sky now, you're in the air I breathe, you're in the ground beneath me, in the love I still receive. I will live under a sky full of your love, forever and a day. Every dawn a new beginning, every dusk a chance to say thank you for the infinity, thank you for the light, thank you for the love that fills my darkest, loneliest night. And when my time comes to join you, I know just where I'll be, floating in the heavens in a sky full of you. A sky full of your love. a fraction of a second just before the beat, where the heart rings in suspension, where the past and future meet. It's the smallest space of silence, barely long enough to breathe, but it's where I find you waiting. It's where you never leave. In the pause before the thunder, in the stillness after rain, between heartbeats I still feel you again and again and again. The doctors say the heart is just a muscle, just a pump, but they never felt it stop and start when your name comes up. Between heartbeats I still love you, in the silence and the space, in the microscopic moment when the world forgets its place. It's not in the loud, not in the rush, not in the beating drum. It's in the quiet in between, where all the healing doesn't come, where time stands still enough to hold the ghost of who you were. Between heartbeats I'm still yours and you're still hers. I've learned to live with the rhythm, the thumping of my chest. I've learned to keep on moving. I've learned to fake the rest. I laugh when I'm supposed to, I smile for all the crowds. I've gotten good at hiding behind the usual clouds, but in that sliver of a second, when one beat ends and one begins, there's no pretending, no defense, just us and all our sins. 'Cause the heart can't lie in the pause, it can't perform or hide. Between beats there's nowhere for the truth to run and hide. Between heartbeats I still love you, in the silence and the space, in the microscopic moment when the world forgets its place. It's not in the loud, not in the rush, not in the beating drum. It's in the quiet in between, where all the healing doesn't come, where time stands still enough to hold the ghost of who we were. Between heartbeats I'm still yours and you're still hers. If I could live inside that pause, I'd never have to face the world that keeps on turning, the world that can't replace the way it felt before the fall, before the final blow. Between heartbeats we're still us, we're still the ones who know the secret of the silence, the language of the still. Between heartbeats I'm complete. Between heartbeats, between heartbeats I hold you just for a moment. Between heartbeats, between heartbeats, between heartbeats, between heartbeats, between heartbeats. I remember the exact second you started to leave. It was in the way you held me, like you had something to grieve, like you were already missing her before you walked away, like your heart was packing quietly while your body chose to stay. And I wanted so badly to freeze that moment right there, to reach out and grab a second, to hold them in the air. But time is a river that doesn't know how to stop. It flows right through your fingers no matter how tight you love. If love could hold time, I'd still have you here. I'd keep us both frozen in our best year. The clock on the wall would forget how to move, and I'd never have to learn a word without you. If love could hold time, I'd reach out my hand and keep us both trapped in the moment we planned. But love isn't magic and time doesn't bend, so I'm left with nothing but where and when. I replay that last morning like a movie in my head. The way the light fell on your face, the ordinary words we said about groceries and laundry, about the coming week. Small talk that was hiding everything we couldn't speak. If I'd known it was the last time, I'd have memorized your eyes, I'd have burned the image into me, I'd have paralyzed the size. But time doesn't warn you, it doesn't give a sign, it just keeps on moving, crossing its cruel line. If love could hold time, I'd still have you here. I'd keep us both frozen in our best year. The clock on the wall would forget how to move, and I never have to learn a word without you. If love could hold time, I'd reach out my hand and keep us both trapped in the moment we planned. But love isn't magic and time doesn't bend, so I'm left with nothing but where and when. I've tried to build a time machine out of photographs and songs, out of places that we used to go, righting all the wrongs. But photographs just fade away, and songs just have their end, and places change their faces, and time won't bend or lend itself to my desperation, to my pleading and my cries. Time just stares right through me with its unrelenting eyes. If love could hold time, I'd never say goodbye. I keep you in the doorway with the sunset in the sky. I keep your hand in my hand, I keep your eyes on mine. I freeze the very second that you were still mine. But love isn't magic and time doesn't bend, so I'm left with nothing, nothing but the end. If love could hold time, I found a photograph today, torn edges, faded light. Standing on a boardwalk, the summer burning bright. I couldn't bring myself to throw it, couldn't put it in a box, so I slipped it in my journal, and my wounded heart still to you across the distance, across the years between, wondering if you kept the pieces of the person that I've been. They say that love is given, that the heart learns how to share, but nobody tells you that some pieces leave and never reappear. Pieces of my heart are yours, scattered everywhere in the songs you introduced me to, the music in the air, and the way I take my coffee now, black with just one sugar please, in the habit of forgiving, in the way I say I'm sorry on my knees. You took 1,000 pieces when you walked out the through that door, and I'll never be whole again. Pieces of my heart are yours. Oh. I wonder if you notice when you're driving in your car and a song comes on that we both love, if it leaves a little scar. I wonder if you catch yourself saying something that I'd say if pieces of my heart find you in the middle of your day. I wonder if you're different now because of who I was, if I left fingerprints on you, if I gave you lasting love. Cause love is not a house you leave and lock the door behind. Love is 1,000 little marks that stay upon the mind. Pieces of my heart are yours, scattered everywhere, and the songs you introduced to me, the music in the air, and the way I take my coffee now, black with just one sugar please, in the habit of forgiving, in the way I say I'm sorry on my knees. You took 1,000 pieces when you walked out through that door, and I'll never be whole again. Pieces of my heart, I don't want them back, you know. I hope you keep them safe. I hope they show up when you need them, fill your empty space. I hope they make you kinder, I hope they make you brave. I hope they're little reminders of the love we gave. Because even though we couldn't last, even though we couldn't stay, the pieces that you carry mean I'm with you every day. Pieces of my heart are yours, keep them safe, my love. Tiny little fragments of a treasure from above, in the way you see the sunrise, in the way you face the storm, in the quiet moments when you're cold. I hope they keep you warm. You took 1,000 pieces, but I understand now more. We're all made up of who we love. Pieces of my heart, oh. Pieces of my heart, oh. Barely is yours. I drove out to the airport, watched the planes take flight. Remembered how you held me there, how you held me tight. You said you'd always come back home, you swore it on the sky. I watched you walk through that gate, and I watched my future die. Now I stand there sometimes, just to feel that final ache. The last place I felt you, the last risk I would take. They've changed the terminal since then. No shops and shiny floors, but I still feel your kiss goodbye when I walk through those doors. The last place I felt you is the hardest place to leave. It's where my heart still waits for you, and my soul still believes. And maybe if I stand there long enough, you'll walk back through the last place I felt you. The last place I felt you. Yeah. There's a corner in the bookstore where we'd always meet. You find find me in the poetry, lost among the sheets of words that try to capture what we somehow found. Two strangers in a city, love on holy ground. I still browse those aisles, sometimes run my fingers down the spines, looking for the feeling there I swore would be mine. The books are rearranged now, new titles on the shelf, but I still feel you standing there. I still feel myself reaching for your hand that isn't there, reaching for your eyes. The last place I felt you was a permanent disguise. The last place I felt you is the hardest place to leave. It's where my heart still waits for you, where my soul still believes that maybe if I stand there long enough, you'll walk back through the last place I felt you. The last place I felt you. I know it's not healthy, I know I should let go, I know that you're not coming back, I know, and still I go to the station, to the restaurant, to the corner by the sea, to every last place that still holds a piece of you and me. Because moving on means saying goodbye to those sacred grounds, and I'm not ready to bury what little of you still surrounds. The last place I felt you is the only place I'm real. It's the only place my heart remembers how to feel. I know it's just a parking lot, a gate, an empty room, but it's the last place I felt you. The last place the sun shone through, and I'll keep going back until my heart can finally accept it's true. The last place I felt you was the last place I had you, and I'm not through. The last place I felt you was the last place I was whole. The last place, the last place, the last place. The clock has stopped at midnight, or maybe we just froze. The whole world went so quiet, nobody else but us rose to the occasion of the moment, to the space between our hands, to the understanding passing that no one else understands. We didn't need to speak at all, the silence setting up, the night wrapped all around us, tender, warm and rough. And I remember thinking if I could bottle time, I'd fill it with this feeling, I'd make it yours and mine. I never let the morning come, I keep the stars awake, I give the moon a reason to bend for our sake. But the night love stayed, the night we held on tight, the night the whole universe felt perfectly right. It didn't ask permission, didn't wanna sit with go, it just arrived and settled, let us finally know what forever felt like, even just for a moment's grace. The night love stayed and left its fingerprints on this place. I still wear that night like a sweater in the cold. When the world gets heavy and I'm feeling old, I wrap myself in memory in the way you looked at me, like I was the only person your eyes could ever see. And for a breath, a heartbeat, a sliver of the dark, we were something holy, we were more than just a spark. We were fire, we were fuel, we were everything that burns. We were pages turning, we were chapters, we would learn by heart, by soul, by every fiber of our being. And that night, we found a kind of seeing that the daylight always misses, that the sun can't comprehend. The night love stayed, my lover and my friend. The night love stayed, the night we held on tight, the night the whole universe felt perfectly right. It didn't ask permission, didn't want us, it would go. It just arrived and settled, let us finally know what forever felt like, even just for a moment's grace. The night love stayed and left its fingerprints on this place. Morning always comes too fast, it always brings the end, it always brings the silence that I cannot comprehend. But that night, the sacred night, it lives inside my chest. It's the pillow where I lay my head when I need rest. It's the answer to the question of why I'm still holding on when everything else is faded and the love is long since gone. The night love stayed, I hold it like a prayer, I keep it in the quiet, I find it everywhere. In the way the moonlight hits my floor, in the stillness of the dark, in the memory of your heartbeat leaving its eternal mark. The night love stayed, it never really left, it just moved inside me, filled every empty cleft of this broken heart that's still beating, still believing in the grave. So the night love stayed and never left this place. The night love stayed, still here in me, with me. The night love stayed. I hear you in the rhythm of the rain against the glass, in the way the floorboards creak when lonely shadows pass. I hear you in the static of the radio at night, in the space between the notes when the piano holds too tight. It's the whisper of your breathing when you thought I was asleep. It's the quiet way you laugh at secrets that I'd keep. They say that love is visual, a thing the eyes can't trace, but I remember you most clearly in the sounds I can't erase. The sound of loving you is the softest thing I've known. It's the melody of morning when I never felt alone. It's the rhythm of your heartbeat underneath my listening ear. It's the silence that meant everything because I knew you were here. And now the world keeps playing, but the music's ringing wrong, because the sound of loving you has faded in a song I can't stop hearing though you're gone. so that meant you were alive. And coming on to find me, coming on to stay, I still hear you humming in the kitchen while you make coffee every day. I still hear the way you call my name from room to empty room. The world is not a quiet place, it's filled with noise and sound, but the only sound that mattered is the one that's not around. The sound of loving you is the softest thing I've known. It's the melody of morning when I never felt alone. It's the rhythm of your heartbeat underneath my listening. It's the silence that meant everything, because I knew you were here. And now the world keeps playing, but the music's ringing wrong, because the sound of loving you has faded in a song I can't stop hearing though you're gone. I went to see a concert, the band played loud and bold, but all I heard was your voice telling me the story of us untold. I sat among the thousands, but I've never felt so alone. Surrounded by the noise, but missing the only tone that ever really reached me, that ever made me feel like love was something audible, something honest and real. The sound of loving you is the quietest of sounds. It's the memory of laughter when there's no one else around. It's the echo in the hallway, it's the ghost of your goodnight. It's the frequency of heartbreak playing softly in the light. And I'll spend forever listening, hoping I'll break through to the silence that still holds. It's the sound of loving you, the sound of loving you. I'm still listening, I'll always be listening. We never needed many words, you and me. A glance across a crowded room was all it used to be. You catch my eye from somewhere, and I know just what you meant. Without a single syllable, without a sentence sent, the world would keep on talking, making noise and making sound, but we were speaking something deeper, where true language is found. It wasn't telepathy, it wasn't magic tricks. It was just two broken people who somehow learned to fix each other with a whisper that didn't make a sound. A conversation heart to heart where only lovers find. I miss the way our hearts spoke without a single word. The quiet understanding, that was the best thing I ever heard. It was in the way you held me when I didn't have to ask. It was in the way we moved together, effortless as grass, bending in the wind, but never breaking, never torn. I miss the way our hearts spoke. Now I'm silent and I'm try to talk to people now. I use my voice, my hands, I explain myself completely. I make them understand exactly what I'm feeling, every detail, every shade. But something always gets lost inside the words I've made, because language is a clumsy tool, and what you need to say is deeper than the dictionary, further than the day. And they look at me with kindness, they nod and they respond, but they don't hear the frequency, the unspoken, the beyond. The place where you and I once lived, where silence was a song, where everything was understood, where nothing felt all wrong. I miss the way our hearts spoke without a single word, the quiet understanding that was the best thing I ever heard. It was in the way you held me when I didn't have to ask. It was in the way we moved together, effortless as grass, bending in the wind, but never breaking, never torn. I miss the way our hearts spoke. Now I'm silent and I'm more. I still catch myself at sunset, turning toward the light, expecting to see you there. It felt so right, and for a second, half a breath, I swear I feel you near. I swear I hear the frequency, I swear I feel you here. But then the moment passes, and the silence rushes in, and I remember that our language died with you, my friend. The way our hearts spoke, in the pauses and the peace, and the space between the breathing, where all conversations cease, and there's just two souls connected, like they've known each other forever. A bonded words could never touch, a chain that time can't sever. But now the light is quiet, the frequency is gone, listening for a heart that's moved on. I listen anyway, in the static, in the silence, hoping to hear just one more word from the way our hearts spoke, from you. It's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep. I'm staring at the ceiling, wondering if you're lying there with the same restless feeling. The city lights are fading, the world is quiet and still, and I wonder if you're thinking of me, if you ever will. I step outside onto the porch, the air is cold and thin, and there it is, that same old moon. Where does it begin? To follow up, to haunt up, to hang there like a vow. I'm looking at it now. They say the moon connects us, and no matter where we are, we're both looking at the same light, but wishing on the same star. But the miles between us stretch so wide, the silence feels so cruel. We're both just standing underneath the same lonely moon, under the same lonely moon. We're breathing different air. You're somewhere out there sleeping, or maybe you're right there, staring at the same pair that's shining on my face. Wishing you could trade this distance for a simpler time and place. Under the same lonely moon, we're both just hanging on. We lay there in the bed of your truck. The thing we love the most was watching how the moonlight dance across the water skin. You said no matter where we go, this light will pull us in, connect us like a silver thread. No distance is too far. I didn't know then that the moon would show me just how distant we are. Cause now that thread feels stretched so thin, I'm scared it's gonna break. I'm scared the moon is just a cold reminder of what's at stake. A witness to the promises we never could fulfill. A light that shines on both of us but somehow keeps us still. Under the same lonely moon, we're breathing different air. You're somewhere out there sleeping, or maybe you're right there, staring at the same pale light that's shining on my face. Wishing you could trade this distance for a simpler time and place. Under the same lonely moon, we're both just hanging on. Two hearts that beat in rhythm, even though you're gone. Maybe on the other side of this wide and empty night, you're standing at your window too, bathed in the same light. Maybe you're not over me, maybe you never knew that I'd be here forever under the same lonely moon as you. And maybe that's enough for now, this silent shared connection, this goes to what we used to be, this fragile resurrection of hope that somehow, somewhere the moon will pull us through and lead me back to you. Under the same lonely moon, I send my love to you on beams of silver silence, on wishes whispered to the blue. And if you feel a warmth tonight, a peace you can't explain, it's just my heart reaching out across the wind and rain, trying to find a way back to the only love I knew. Under the same lonely moon, the same lonely moon, same moon, different rooms, same heart, still assume you're looking too. Under the same lonely moon. Remember those hot summer nights, lying in the grass. The world was slow to nothing, the hours would just pass. We watched them rise up from the field, those tiny blinking lights, dancing in the darkness like scattered stars in flight. You turn to me and whisper, that's us, that's you and me, burning bright and beautiful, then fading silently. We didn't know it then, but you were speaking prophecy. Some loves are born to light the dark, then disappear completely. We love like fireflies, brilliant, brief and bright, setting all the world on fire in the soft and summer night. We lit up every moment, we burned away the dark, two souls made a light with a temporary spark. And though you're gone now, baby, I still see you in the sky. Every time a firefly flickers, then says goodbye. You can't catch lightning in a jar, you can't make summer stay. The fireflies always fade away when autumn comes to play. And we were never meant to last, we burned too hot, too fast. Like every perfect thing we knew we couldn't make it last. But all the way we glittered, the way we lit the night, for brilliant, brief and bright, setting all the world on fire in the soft and summer night. We lit up every moment, we burned away the dark, two souls made of lightning with a temporary spark. And though you're gone now, baby, I still see you in the sky. Every time a firefly flickers, then says goodbye. I don't regret the ending, I don't curse the coming cold. I'm just grateful for the summer and the story that it told. Some people get a lifetime of slow burning, steady light, but I got something magic I got to burn so bright. And even in the winter, even in the dark and cold, I carry that one summer when our love was bold. We love like fireflies, brilliant, brief and bright. We set the world on fire in that soft and summer night. Though you're gone now, baby, I still see you in the sky. Every time a firefly flickers, I remember you and I. Flicker, flicker, there you go, lighting up the dark, just like we used to do. We love like fireflies, fireflies. I still remember the exact second you walked in the room, like the universe had parted, like the stars aligned for you. I wasn't looking for a sign, I wasn't asking for a prayer, but something in that instant told me you were already there. And every dream I'd ever dreamed, and every hope I'd held, like every broken road I walked, it finally compelled me to arrive exactly where I always meant to be. Right there in that moment, with you in front of me. And we laughed about it later, how impossible it seemed that two souls could collide like that, like something from a dream. We said this must be destiny, this must be heaven sent. We were so sure, so innocent. We were meant for this moment, meant to find each other's hands, meant to be the answer to all of life's demands, meant to be the proof that timing isn't random, isn't blind, that the heart gets what it's looking for when it's patient, when it's kind. We were meant for this moment, I still believe it's true, even though this moment led me straight to losing you. I think about the timing now, the way it all fell apart, how the thing that seemed so destined left such a broken heart. Were we meant for that first kiss, but not for the last goodbye? Were we meant for the beginning, but not the passing of time? I trace back every step we took, every turn, every choice. I wonder if we missed the signs, if we ignored the voice that whispered in the background. Nothing perfect ever stays, but we were too in love to count the disappearing days. Cause when you're in the moment, you don't see the clock run out, you don't feel the distance coming, you don't hear the doubt, you just hold on to forever like it's something you can keep, until you're lying in the dark and the silence is so deep. We were meant for this moment, meant to find each other's hands, meant to be the answer to all of life's demands, meant to be the proof that timing isn't random, isn't blind, that the heart gets it's what it's looking for. When it's patient, when it's kind, we were meant for this moment. I still believe it's true, even though this moment led me straight to losing you. Maybe we were meant to teach each other how to love. Maybe we were sent from somewhere high above, just to show each other what was possible, what could be, before the world came crashing in, before you had to leave. Maybe destiny's not linear, maybe it's just a spark, a glimpse of heaven given in the middle of the dark, to remind us that connection exists, the souls can recognize that moment when forever looks you straight into the eyes. We were meant for this moment, even if it couldn't last, even if it's just a photograph buried in the past. We were meant for that first glance, that first touch, that first hello. Meant to feel what real love means before we had to let it go. We were meant for this moment, and I'll carry it with me. For a moment, we were exactly what we were meant to be. We were meant for that moment, and I'll never regret one second of it. Never. Please. I wasn't looking for a landing, I was fine among the clouds. I built my walls so high up, I was lost among the crowds. But you stood there so quietly, no parachute, no net, just open arms and honest eyes, a safety I hadn't met. And somehow without warning, I stepped off the edge I knew, and I learned what gravity really means when I fell into you. They say that falling's easy, it's the landing that's the test, but nobody told me falling would feel better than the rest. Every safe and certain step I'd taken on my own, and falling into you would be the first time I felt home. When I fell into you, the world just disappeared. Every fear I carried, every doubt I'd feared, dissolved into the atmosphere of your embrace so true. I finally knew what living meant when I fell into you. I remember the exact moment my heart left solid ground, the way you looked at me and smiled. The most beautiful sound was the silence that surrounded us, the space between heartbeats where two souls recognize each other, where destiny and fate meet. I stopped being careful, I stopped being scared, I stopped being the girl who always warned, always prepared. Because falling felt like flying, like I'd finally found my wings, like every broken part of me learned what healing means. You caught me without catching, you held me without hands, you showed me that the safest place is where the heart lands. When I fell into you, the world just disappeared. Every fear I carried, every doubt I'd feared, dissolved into the atmosphere of your embrace so true. I finally knew what living meant when I fell into you. But here's the thing about falling that nobody ever says. Sometimes the ground gives way beneath, sometimes the landing breaks, sometimes the arms that catch you after holding you so tight just open up and let you fall into the endless night. And you left there falling still with no ground in sight, wondering if the fall itself was worth the height. When I fell into you, I thought I'd found my place. I thought I'd finally won the race. I thought I'd found my grace. But falling isn't flying, and landing isn't home. When the arms that caught you gently just leave you alone. I'm still falling, reaching for a hand that's gone. When I fell into you, I fell too far to carry on. I'm still falling through the empty space where your arms used to be. I fell into you. I thought I finally landed. I was wrong. I've traveled down a million roads, seen oceans I can't name. I've stood on mountaintops and felt the fire and the flame. I've watched the sunset over a city I'll never see again. I've made friends in strange places, forgotten where I've been. But everywhere I wander, everywhere I roam, I'm just a visitor passing through. I never feel at home. This home was never coordinates, longitude or latitude. Home was in the way you'd find me in my darkest, hardest mood, and pull me back to sunlight, pull me back to grace. Home was never somewhere, home was always your face. I've been looking for where my heart belongs, searching high and low, in crowded rooms and empty streets and places I don't know. I thought if I just kept on moving, I'd finally find a place where I could rest my weary soul and recognize the space. But everywhere I go, I'm just a stranger passing through. Because where my heart belongs is wherever you are too. And you're not here, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I built a house by the ocean, watched the waves crash on the shore. I thought the sound of endless blue might heal me to the core. I painted all the rooms in colors that you used to love. I hung a photograph of us beneath the moon above. And for a while it almost worked, I almost felt okay, until the night came creeping and the silence had its say. And the ocean kept on singing and the moon kept shining bright. But the only voice I wanted was the one I had at night, in my dreams beside me, whispering my name. And I woke up to emptiness and nothing was the same. I've been looking for where my heart belongs, searching high and low, in crowded rooms and empty streets and places I don't know. I thought if I just kept on moving, I'd finally find a place where I could rest my weary soul and recognize the space. But everywhere I go, I'm just a stranger passing through. Because where my heart belongs is wherever you are too. You're not here, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Maybe belonging isn't somewhere you can find on a map. Maybe it's the feeling of a hand across your back. Maybe it's the safety of a voice you recognize. Maybe it's the look that passes between two people's eyes. And if that's true, then I belong to a place I can't return. A geography of memory that I will never learn. To navigate without you, to chart without your star. I belong to somewhere that is very, very far. So I'll keep on searching, keep on looking for a sign that there's a place in this world that could ever call me mine. But deep down I already know the answer to my song is that I found it once, and now it's gone. And I'll spend forever wondering, trying to prove it wrong. But where my heart belongs is where you've been on. Where my heart belongs was you, just you, just you. I drove past the old diner where we used to meet, the one with the cracked vinyl and the smell of something sweet. I didn't plan on stopping, I was just passing through, but the neon sign was flickering like it was calling out to you. I sat down in our booth, the one against the wall, and for a moment time bent backward and I heard your voice call my name across the counter like you'd never been away. Like 20 years were nothing and we still had yesterday. Some places hold the echoes of the people we have been. Some doorways open inward to a world that might have been. And I went back to where your love found me again, where the jukebox played our song and the rain fell soft and thin, where you reached across the table and took my trembling hand and made me understand that love doesn't have to leave, it just changes where it stands. I went back to where your love found me again. The waitress asked if I was okay, I said I'm fine. Just an old familiar feeling, just a wandering in mind. But she smiled like she knew something, like she'd seen it all before. People coming back to places, looking for an open door. I ordered what you used to, black coffee, apple pie, and I swear I saw you sitting there from the corner of my eye. Not a ghost, not a haunting, just a presence soft and warm, like the quiet after thunder, like the shelter from the storm. And I went back to where your love found me again, where the jukebox played our song didn't find you waiting, I didn't find you there, but I found the part of me that learned to love without a care. I found the boy who trusted, I found the girl who stayed, I found the version of ourselves that never was afraid. And maybe that's the miracle of coming back around. Love leaves its fingerprints all over every town. I went back to where your love found me again, not to find you waiting, but to find where we've been. To remember that I once was held so tenderly and true. To remind myself that someone in this world once knew the deepest parts of who I am and loved me anyway. I went back to where your love found me, where your love found me again. Oh, babe, not to bring you back, to bring me back to who I was. Your love found me again. Found me again. I used to think my world was big, the planets spinning free, with moons and stars and galaxies that all belong to me. I had my own gravity, my own orbit and my pace. I thought I was complete before I ever saw your face. But then you came and showed me what I never knew was missing, a quiet kind of chaos, a beautiful unscripting. You didn't just hold me, you didn't just stay close, you wrapped yourself around my everything, and that's what hurts the most. You had your arms around my world, and I never even knew that my whole universe was resting safe in you. Every planet, every star, every broken part of me was held together by the way you'd hold me carefully. And now you're gone, and everything is spinning out of place, because your arms around my world were holding it in place. I wake up in the morning and the bed still feels the same, but the ground beneath me shifted, nothing feels the same. I reach out for the coffee cup that always had your name. I listen for the sound of you, the whisper of your frame, and the silence that replies to me is louder than a scream. It tells me that my world is not as solid as it seems, your gentle hands. My world is just a breeze now, floating in the sands. You had your arms around my world, and I never even knew that my whole universe was resting safe in you. Every planet, every star, every broken part of me was held together by the way you'd hold me carefully. And now you're gone, and everything is spinning out of place, because your arms around my world were holding it in place. The scientists say nothing's lost, just changed into something new. But they never felt the emptiness of waking up without you. They never knew a gravity that suddenly gives way. They never felt a universe just crumbling in a day. I'm floating in the darkness, no orbit, no design, a world without its anchor, a world that was once mine. You had your arms around my world, and I thought it would always be. I thought the stars would keep on shining, that you'd always hold me. But stars burn out and galaxies collapse and worlds grow cold, and I'm just here remembering the only hand I'd hold was yours, around my everything, around my space and time. And now there's just this empty sky where your arms used to hold my world. Your arms around my world, and now nothing holds. I've lived in many places, slept in many beds, hung my head in cities, running circles through my head. But I never knew the meaning of the word belonging, no, until I found myself reflected in the way your eyes would glow, like I was something precious, like I was worth the stay, like every broken part of me fit perfectly away. You don't need four walls and a roof to feel you safe and known. You just need one pair of eyes that says you're never alone. Your eyes were my home, the only place I'd rest, the only harbor I would sail toward when I needed my best. I could travel around the world, cross every ocean wide, and still be lost until I saw the light inside your eyes. But now those windows are closed, the lights have all gone dim, and I'm just a traveler with no place to take shelter in without your eyes, my home. I try to find that feeling in a stranger's friendly face, in the kindness of a new love, in a warm and welcoming place. But no matter how they look at me, no matter how they care, 'cause home isn't where they let you in, it's where they let you be exactly who you are without pretending desperately. Your eyes were my home, the only place I'd rest, the only harbor I would sail toward when I needed my best. I could travel around the world, cross every ocean wide, and still be lost until I saw the light inside your eyes. But now those windows are closed, the lights have all gone dim, and I'm just a traveler with no place to take shelter in without your eyes. I close my own eyes sometimes and try to conjure you, try to see the way you look at me, like I was something new, like I hadn't been discovered, like I was worth the find, like every single corner of my complicated mind was a room you wanted to explore, a space you wanted to fill, and for a moment in the dark I almost see you still. Your eyes were my home, and I'm still wandering through cities full of strangers, through the loneliness I'm in. I keep searching every face I meet for just a glimpse of you, for that feeling of belonging, for that light that once shone through. But I'm learning as I wander, with no compass and no guide, that some homes you can't rebuild, no matter how you've tried, without your rays. I am I'm homeless, I'm homeless, not on the street, but in my heart, 'cause your eyes are my home. The doctor said your heart stopped on that cold November day. They covered you in white and took your body far away. But they didn't know the secret that I'm learning to believe, that a heart can stop its beating and your love still breathes. I feel it in the morning when I wake up to the sun, in the rhythm of the rain when the day has just begun. It's the pulse beneath the silence, the whisper in the trees. Your body may be gone, my love, but your love still breathes. They buried you in earth and stone. They said their final goodbyes, but they don't know that love doesn't die. It just changes the skies. Your love still breathes in every breath I take. It's the air inside my lungs, the reason my heart wakes. It's the wind against my face, the calm after the storm, the warmth when I'm alone, the safe place I was born to finally understand that nothing's truly lost. Your love still breathes in me, whatever the cost. I visited your grave last spring, I left some flowers there. I knelt down on the cold our ground and whisper to the air. And for a moment I could swear I felt you next to me. Not as flesh, not as bone, but it's something I could breathe. I close my eyes and inhale deep, and you were in my chest. Not a memory, not a ghost, but a heartbeat and a rest. A presence that was living, not a shadow or a wave, but the oxygen of love that time could never fade. And I realized in that moment, as the tears fell on the stone, that you're not in the ground at all. You're everywhere I roam. Your love still breathing. Every breath I take is the air inside my lungs. The reason my heart wakes is the wind against my face, the calm after the storm, the warmth when I'm alone, the safe place I was born to finally understand that nothing's truly lost. Your love still breathes in me, whatever the cost. Science says we're made of stars, that energy never ends, that what we are keeps cycling, breaking down to build again. And if that's true, then you are sunlight, you are oxygen, you are air, you are every breath I'm breathing, proof that you are everywhere. Your love still breathes. The rhythm in my chest is the only peace I found, is the only rest. When the world is crashing down and I can't find the air, I remember you're within me and somehow you're still there. Not as memory, not as ghost, not as someone that I grieve, but as the very breath I take. Your love still breathes. Inhale, you're there. Exhale, still there. Still there in me. I don't have your hand to hold when the night gets cold. I don't have your voice to guide me when I'm feeling low. I don't have your arms around me when the world gets loud. But I have something sacred, something I'm still proud. I have every moment folded gently in my chest. Every laugh, every whisper, every moment of rest. And when the weight of missing you becomes too much to bear, I close my eyes and let the memories take me there. Your memory feels like home, the only place I know, where the walls are made of moments and the light still has your glow, where every room is filled with us, every corner holds a trace of the way you used to look at me, the way you used to say my name. I can't go back to where we were, I can't pick up the phone, but when the world is cold and empty, your memory feels like home. I've tried to find belonging in the the faces of new days, and the kindness of strangers in the different words they say. I've tried to build a new life from the rubble of the old, but nothing feels as warm as what we had, what we once hold. Cause home was never four walls, home was never a place. Home was the way I felt when I was wrapped inside your grace. And since you left I've wandered through 1,000 open doors, but none of them have led me to the peace I felt before. Your memory feels like home, the only place I know, where the walls are made of a moment, and the light still has your glow. Where every room is filled with us, every corner holds a trace of the way you used to look at me, the way you used to say my name. I can't go back to where we were, I can't pick up the phone, but when the world is cold and empty, your memory feels like home. Some people say that memory is just a fading photograph, that time will soften everything, including all the laughs. But my memory of you is not a picture on a shelf, it's living, breathing warm, it's how I still feel myself, connected to the love we made, the person I became. When you looked at me and loved me, when you whispered out my name. Your memory feels like home, the shelter from the storm, the only place this broken heart still feels safe and warm. I don't need new tomorrow, I don't need another start, I just need this quiet place where you still hold my heart. I can't go back to yesterday, I know I can't atone, but thank God when I'm alone, your memory feels like home. Feels like home. The only home I know is you, is us, is every moment. Your memory feels like home. I still feel you on my skin sometimes when I'm half asleep. A phantom warmth, the gentle pressure, promises you'd keep. The way your fingers trace my palm like reading braille lines, decoding all my secret fears, calming all my minds. I didn't know a simple touch could write itself so deep, that long after you're gone, it's a promise that my body keeps. The mind forgets the arguments, the words we said in haste, but skin has a memory that time cannot erase. Your touch, my forever, etched into my bones, the only map that leads me back to a place I once called home. It lingers like a heartbeat when the heart has ceased to beat, a warmth beneath the coldness, a pulse beneath the sleet. I can wash my skin 1,000 times, I can try to wash away, but your touch, my forever, is here to stay. I remember nights you held me through the trembling and the tears. Your hand upon my back would calm the panics and the fears. The weight of your arm across my waist this morning light crept through, made me feel like nothing in this world could ever undo the safety that you gave me with just the pressure of your hand. bleed. I can wash my skin 1,000 times. I can try to wash away your touch. My forever is here to stay. Sometimes I swear I feel you brush the hair back from my face. I spin around hard racing to find an empty space, and I crumble into knowing that my body's lying to me, that the touch I feel so deeply is just a memory. But maybe that's the miracle, maybe that's the curse, to feel you in my fingertips for better or for worse. Your touch, my forever, the only thing that's real in a world of fading photographs and wounds that never heal. It's the phantom limb that aches when nothing's there to hold. It's the story in my scars and my skin is still retold. And even if I never feel another hand that's true, your touch, my forever, lives in me and you. I close my eyes and they